I wanted to show you how I go backwards when I'm knitting in the round, and it is the same concept if you're knitting backwards and forwards in rows as well, but sometimes it's just nice to see it be done. So I've got a purposeful little boo-boo here. Sometimes you'll see this and you think, what the hell have I done here? So what I have done is I've accidentally had my wool on this side, and then I've gone to knit a stitch, so I'm ending up with an extra little wrap there. Oh. See, I've got an extra little bit of something, and I've managed to get this one crossed over. So we don't want that extra little beast. So see, he's kind of come out of nowhere, and that technically is a way of increasing. It's called a yarn over, so you wrap your yarn up and over the needle, and then you would work another, all your rest of your stitches, and it creates a stitch. And also you use this if you are going to make a buttonhole, and you would tend to knit that extra stitch and a stitch beside it on the next row to get rid of the extra stitch. So we'll do some backwards knitting, and all I do is see how that stitch here is coming up out of this stitch. I put my left hand needle into the stitch below, and then I slip my right hand needle off. So there's my extra boo-boo, so I'm going to take that away. I'm going to work my way back to this lot, and I just keep twisting round my finger. It takes a bit of readjusting. So I'm going to use my left hand needle and pick up that stitch just underneath, and then gently take your right hand needle off, and I'll sort of do a wee loop here to make sure this is nice and tight, and just work your way all along. Now ideally the less you have to undo the better, but it is nice to have the confidence to do some undoing. And the reason I like to put my left hand needle in there first is so that your stitches don't ladder all the way down, because they can come undone. There's that extra boo-boo stitch. And so let's say you did lose it down here like this, and you're like, oh my god, what are we doing here? What you can do is get a crochet hook, and I like to use a crochet hook slightly smaller than my knitting. So this is 3.5mm, and we've got 4mm knitting needles. So all we're going to do is make sure we've got a decent wee bit of that one. So just put your hook in from the front. Make sure you get the whole lot of the stitch like that. And then we're just going to pull through these lost ones and go upwards. So if you've had experience crocheting, this is creating a chain pretty much. We're just doing it vertically instead of horizontal. And then we want to put this back on your needle, and we want the wee leg that's over on the right hand side to the front. So you kind of have to twist it that way. And oh, it's hard to see through my camera. So know what I mean about the right and the left leg. So this is the right, and it should always be to the front. If we were to have the left leg to the front, when we go to knit this bad boy, he's going to get twisted. And that's the sort of thing that the more you knit, the more you understand what's happening. And it would be really tight to knit twisted. So if you get some resistance, you'll be like, ooh, what's happening here? Okay, so if you do have boo-boos, don't fear. Don't fear the boo-boos. They teach you more than getting it right all the time, I find. I am going to finish this round, and then I will be changing colours. So I just wanted to give you that little little extra on fixing the boo-boos. There's nothing worse when people only teach you how to do it right. If you can't fix your mistakes, and you kind of just end up in a tiz and never do it again. So that's it for now. Coming up next is changing colours.